Hi, my name is Cassie Cresswell. I've got two daughters who will be at Goethe Elementary this year. That's a neighborhood school here in Logan Square. We've got great neighborhood schools here in Logan Square, but unfortunately they are being hit really hard with these budget cuts. You heard about the Calvin Park cuts, and on top of that, there's millions and millions of dollars in total. Just at our school, there's about $250,000 that we're going to be losing. We're losing 3.5 teacher positions. Our operating budget costs, it's about half of what we had last year. We are literally discussing things like, should we be raising money for toilet paper? Yes. This is in the richest country in the world. This is not just a problem here in Logan Square, it's the entire city. Raise Your Hand has done a lot of research, and it looks like there's about $162 million being cut to traditional schools, school-level expenses, and yet, even though CPS is crying that there's a huge budget deficit, there's some schools that are getting more money. Charter schools are going to be getting $85 million increase this coming year.
We need a different system in Chicago where the people have a voice, and it's not all one person making these decisions, right? We need an elected school board. We are the only district in the state of Illinois that does not get to elect our school board. Why is it that people in Evanston and Oak Park and Highland Park and Winnetka are trusted to make decisions about their schools, but we in Chicago are not trusted to make decisions about our schools, right? This is a huge problem. Last summer, many of you might have signed petitions to get a referendum on the ballot. In 327 precincts from the south side to the far north side, from the lakefront to the west side, people voted for an elected school board. 87% of those who voted for an elected school board. This is clearly something that the people of Chicago want. The problem is, it has to happen in Springfield, all right? So one thing we have to do is get everybody to mobilize, to contact your state representatives, contact the mayor, contact the governor, and let them know that this is what we want, this is what we demand. We have to have a voice in how our schools are run. All these cuts would not be happening if the people of Chicago actually had a voice in how our schools were run. That's right.
Well, today, communities all over the city of Chicago are coming together to say that today begins the fight for an elected representative school board in the city of Chicago. 86% of Chicagoans say they want an elected school board. The decision to close 50 schools, to slash neighborhood school budgets while you increase funding to charter schools, then to release an RFP for 52 charter schools in the midst of a supposed $1 billion budget deficit is beyond insulting.
We're not going to no more bogus school board meetings. We're not going to any more meetings where they're not listening to us. David Vitale, we don't recognize you as a board chairperson. Andrea South, we don't recognize you as a school board member. You fired. You fired. You what? You what? You what?
Black children don't need libraries, they need basketball courts. That's racist colonialism. 50 years ago, Dr. King cried out against our country's triple evils: militarism. Chicago has more military schools than anywhere in the country and acts like a police state in black and brown communities. Materialism, where individual cutthroat competition rules and has schools fighting for students because of per pupil funding and parents fighting for a decent school because CPS starves neighborhood schools and stole the one choice that every parent really wants: a wonderful school their child can walk to. And racism. Nothing more to say there except that in a district with 42% black students, 90% of those affected by school actions are African American. When Dr. King went to Washington 50 years ago, he brought with him a check to cash for justice. Washington returned the check, marked insufficient funds. Last week at the 50th anniversary in DC, people brought the check again. This time it came marked no stop payment, as in they have no money for us. But that's a lie. Mega corporations are drowning in cash. Rahm has 1.7 trillion in a TIF fund. Those are our tax dollars. Whose money? Our money. Our money needs to come back to us. We need an elected representative school board. A people's school board. So we can choose reps whose children attend our schools to lead our schools. Yes, along with other experts. And we're no fools. We know that a people's board is not the answer because the penny Pritzkers will try to buy seats and we'll have to keep on fighting. But do we know how to fight? Yes! Do we know how to fight? Yes! We need a people's board to say, no, Rahm, you cannot have our school TIF money so you can sell off our children's future for some DePaul demon dollars. You cannot close our schools and move our children like chess pawns. You cannot break our unions and push people further into poverty and treat the city like your damn plantation. We need a people's board like a fish needs water. And we need David Vitale like a fish needs a bicycle. Whose schools? Whose city? Whose board? Whose children? Our children, not corporate products. Forward to an elected school board.
Coming up now from Albany Park Neighborhood Council is Ms. Merced Alday. Give her a round of applause.
Queremos que CPS pare la expansión de escuelas charter y exigimos justicia para nuestros hijos. Actualmente tenemos una junta de educación comprada por el alcalde. Queremos y necesitamos una junta de educación electa por los padres ahora, antes de que sea demasiado tarde.
We demand the stop of any new charter schools, and we demand justice for our children. We have a bought alderman, and we want and demand an elected board by the parents now.
All right, everybody, just so you all know, around the country today and other cities throughout the United States, actions like this are happening. Today, in New Orleans, they are occupying George Washington Carver High School, and they're demanding that they stop sending African-American children to school in FEMA trailers in New Orleans today, and they stand with us. Tomorrow in Newark, New Jersey, Trenton, New Jersey, Camden, New Jersey, we're marching on the Capitol to demand the end of privatization. In Boston, they're doing an action in City Hall today. So all over the United States, in Oakland, brothers and sisters are standing with us in our journey for justice. So I want to let you know we are not alone in this fight. This is not local, this is national, and even an international fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and march on over to City Hall, and then we'll continue our program once we get to City Hall. Is that cool?
I am a mother of 3 children in the Chicago public school system. My children and I are boycotting the CPS system today. Boycotting because massive budget cuts and school closures are a personal attack on our children and our entire city. 50 years ago, they marched for justice and freedom. Today, we boycott to remind them if we don't get no justice, then they don't get no freedom. If we don't get no justice, then they don't get no freedom. In solidarity with 41 cities, parents, students, community organizers across this city, we demand an elected school board. The school closings are very personal for my family. As soon as we got news that Lafayette was on the closing list, we took actions. CPS told us, tell me your concerns, I'm listening. Yet they will shut me down with their 2-minute timing restrictions. They said they care, yet their cold actions were burning me like hate. The community rose together with hope that CPS was listening, with hope to save our school. Yet our school community was crumbled with deception. My desperation led my family and I to occupy Lafayette Elementary. The following 4 hours were nothing but police intimidation. My daughter was told repeatedly that her future was ruined, that no college would take her, told that she would be taken to juvenile detention, processed, and charged. To their surprise, my daughter's stronger and is erupting everywhere with CSU. My younger children were told that our family would be separated in different jails in such a broken system. They said to us, trust me, it's not a nice one. They verbally abused my husband, saying things like, your children are going to hate you. What kind of a father are you to put your children through this? Their words were challenging, hurtful, and demeaning. We came in as a family and was determined to leave as one, leading me right then and there to the conclusion that we as a city should have an elected board. They called our dangerous streets safe passage. They forced us to walk miles to a new school, and they called it welcoming. They closed our schools, destroyed our communities, and they call it reform. It is time, Chicago. It is time we stop letting CPS and Rahm Emanuel write our stories. It is time, Chicago, we grab our pencils and write our own. No justice, no peace. No justice,